Okay, it's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Going to review some Russian Doll by Brewdog. Got their Pale Ale at 4%, their IPA at 6%, their Double IPA at 8%, and their Barleywine at 10%. Now, what's really interesting about these beers is that they all use the same hops. So they all use the same hops, they all use the same malts, but they just use different malts and the same malt but different consistencies, different amounts. That's what I'm looking for. Different amounts of the malt and different amounts of the hops in each one. So we're starting off with the Pale Ale at 4%. Nice beer, nice and clear. Nice bit of lacing on the glass there. Let's give it a taste. It's really tasty, obviously really fresh. It's a brand new beer. I didn't get the aroma. Let me get the aroma first. Yeah, I tell you, it reminds me, if you've tried their Jackhammer, it reminds me of their Jackhammer IPA. It's like a double IPA. Big, pungent, lovely, grapefruity aromas and flavours. Nice citrus tone. And at 4%, a very drinkable drink, very refreshing. Could certainly see myself drinking a pint of this. So that's the first Russian Doll. And I think it's a very, very clever thing to do. Very clever, because essentially, as I mentioned earlier, it's the same malt, but this one's slightly darker. This is their IPA at 6%. So they've added a little bit more malt. The same malt that was in the Pale Ale. Let's get the aroma on this one. Yeah, again, really nice grapefruity, citrus aroma. Lovely and fresh, straight from the brewery. Let's give it a taste. This one's got a little bit more body to it. With 6%, that added malt, you can really start to taste it. It's got quite a bit more body than the Pale Ale. It's slightly sweeter as well. It's a little bit more rich. More malt, more sugars, more ABV. Yeah, that's a really good IPA. Is it similar to Punk IPA? No, I don't think so. I think it's a very different, very different drink entirely. So, moving on then to the Double IPA. Now this one, look, you're starting to see the body on this beer. Great lacing on the glass. Beer in the glass. Again, same malt, but they've used a bit more of it, and it's again a little bit darker. Loads of small bubbles rising up the side of the glass. Let's get the aroma. Yeah, and that for me smells quite a lot like the aroma is a lot like the IPA. A little bit more intensity to it, a little bit more grapefruity intensity, a little bit more peachy and lemony in the aroma. But yeah, and the aroma gives off a nice malty sweetness as well. Let's dive in, give this Double IPA a taste. And yeah, this Double IPA now, you're starting to taste, as you will, you're starting to taste a little bit more of that alcohol. It's got the same, it's a little bit thicker than the IPA in the mouthfeel, but it's got the same feel to me. It's just a little bit more intense. It's got a little bit more body. It's got a little bit more citrusy aroma. It's got a little bit more sweetness. But essentially, slightly stronger. Okay, 3 down, 1 to go. This is the barley wine then at 10%. 10% ABV, and look at the colour of that compared to the other 3 beers. Lovely lacing on the glass again, lovely small bubbles rising up as you move the beer, but more malt, more alcohol, more colour. Look at that colour. Let's get the aroma. And this is now, you can feel the alcohol just touching the eyelids. You can just get it on the eyes, that alcohol. But in the aroma, it's not too much. It just every beer is a step up. It's a great example of how to brew different beers with the same malt and the same hops, but slightly step them up with the alcohol. 4%, 6%, 8%, and 10%. Let's dive in, give it a taste. Wow. Wow, and that's more of everything again. So loads of malt in this one. A really nice biscuity sweetness, and then on the back end there's a massive amount of hop bitterness. Loads of hops in this one. It's grapefruity, citrusy, bitter, but it's got a lot more body in the beer. It's a big full-bodied beer. Would I recommend it? Would I recommend somebody buy the beers? Absolutely, absolutely. If you're learning to drink beer, this is a great way to learn. Pale ales are generally about 4%, IPAs are generally 6%, double IPAs are generally 8%, barley wines are generally between 9 and 10%. This one's 10%. It's just a great footstep of all the different good styles of beer that people like to drink. Yes, I would buy it again. Yes, I would buy the bottles. Totally recommend this beer, or this range of beer from Brewdog. We are in Brewdog Cardiff. Thanks for watching. Put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer reviews, and cheers.